Hi students, welcome back to that is your channel Physics by Imagination. Dear students, in the previous class we had understood about what is dual nature of matter and radiation and what is photoelectric effect, Einstein photoelectric effect, experimental results. So today we are going to discuss about graph used in the photoelectric effect. Dear students, it is very important. You might be go through several question papers. They asked about graph, very important. So now here let us learn about graphs used in photoelectric effect. The students, first graph. So I have taken simultaneously. So if when I draw a graph, photoelectric current versus intensity of light. Dear students, as I told you in the previous class, that is the number of photoelectrons are directly proportional to intensity of radiation. So for fixed frequency, the number of photoelectrons are directly proportional to intensity of radiation. Hence the graph will form linear graph. When you plot a graph, that is photoelectric current versus intensity of light. Similarly, threshold frequency means what? The minimum frequency to be given to the body and electrons will emit from the atom. That is called threshold frequency. When I draw a graph, that is kinetic energy versus frequency, then this will be the threshold frequency. This minimum frequency, it must and should be given to the surface to eject the electrons from the metal surface. So after that, come to the third graph. Here I have drawn intensity versus voltage. Dear students, you know that what is stopping potential? The minimum potential, the minimum negative potential to be given to become photoelectric current 0. But it's not 0 potential, but photocurrent becomes 0. Now, as the stopping potential will increase, this is you call I1, this is you call I2, stopping potential is increasing, then intensity will increase. Dear students, remember the stopping potential is same for all intensity of lights. But here, as it increases, then here I1, I2 are represented. I1 is called intensity 1, I2 is called intensity of 2. Now what is my point here? I2 is greater than I1. They will give in the exam like this only conditions. So after understanding this, come to the point, third one, when I plot a graph, photoelectric current versus stopping potential. So here it will come linear graph. Now here what is my point here? Same thing, as the stopping potential increases, the intensity will increase and also the frequency will increase. Means as the stopping potential increases, means if suppose a metal surface has more frequency, then stopping potential will be maximum, negative stopping potential. If frequency is less, means then stopping potential will be less. So stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency. Now, so it means mu2 is greater than mu1. They may give 1 1 again. So you can write mu2 is greater than mu1, mu1 is greater than mu0. Or you can write mu0 is lesser than mu1, mu1 is lesser than mu2. About this graph. So after understanding this, let us understand about photons. So what are photons? Dear students, photons are nothing but, they are, now you are all seeing the light. It is nothing but a bundle of packets of energy. That is a bundle of packets of energy are called photons. So now here it is going to show some properties. You may ask you in the exams, MCQs, very important. The now properties will discuss. So what are the properties? The students, it is made up of photons, means they are energy particles. They are nothing but what? they are energy particles. When you crack the cracker, you might be seen that energy will be radiating in the form of photons and energy particles. They move in straight direction. They go straight direction and they can move with the speed of light. That is, their speed is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And this rest mass is equal to 0. I mean, very important, rest mass of photon is equal to 0. What does it mean? According to relativistic mass, the meaning of relativistic mass means when the particles are going to move with the speed of light, then we know that m is equal to m naught divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. This is nothing but we use in the theory of relativity, which explained by Einstein. This is relativistic mass. So what is the meaning of relativistic mass? When the particles are moving with the speed of light, then we should use this formula. Then your speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And also the speed of the particle is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So it becomes, both are equal. Then it becomes 1 divided by same quantity is 1. So this is m naught divided by 0. Something by 0 means this is m naught by 0. It becomes infinity. Rest mass of photon is 0 and its mass becomes infinity. Means when the photon is at rest position, its mass becomes infinity. Next, we know that E is equal to mc square. Einstein mass energy relation. I want to find momentum. So we can write as E is equal to P into m into C. So it becomes m into C means what more? That is momentum. So it becomes m into P is equal to E. The momentum is equal to E divided by m. It becomes what? M into C. Okay. It becomes C again. Now what happens here? E is equal to C into MC are written. Now MP means we get PC. Now momentum is equal to C divided by, that is E divided by C. E divided by C. So this is about momentum. Now you know that again I want to find mass means that is kinetic mass is equal to E by C square. Very important dear students. M is equal to E by C square. P is equal to E by C. Okay. So this is all about the various properties of photons. And remember, very important particle, that is very important property, it is a neutral particle. Means they do not contain either positive charge or negative charge. So this is all about properties and definition of photons. They are nothing but energy particles. So after understanding this, let us go for next concept, de Broglie wave concept. Very important for CET and NEET, even JW exam too. So what is that? De Broglie waves. The students, I have thrown chalk piece. This is chalk and this is the medium. Now here chalk is moving towards you. Then that is a particle nature. And the chalk is moving and there is a disturbance in the medium. There is a disturbance in the medium. Disturbance in the medium. So when there is a disturbance in the medium, that is nothing but wave is there, particle is there. That is nothing but dual nature of matter, or dual nature of light. The property which shows both particle nature and wave nature, that is called dual nature of light, or dual nature of matter. Now what is my point here? De Broglie waves means the waves are associated with moving material particles. Means where there is a particle, there will be a wave. Where there is a wave, there will be a particle. So that means, right, that is you can note down the waves which are associated with the moving particles. The waves which are associated with moving particles are called matter waves, or we can call de Broglie waves. With moving particles are called shortcut de Broglie waves, or we can call MW, matter waves. So after understanding de Broglie waves, so derivation is there, very simple. E is equal to mc square, E is equal to h into lambda. So here directly I am going to take, if you simplify, if mu is equal to c by lambda, if you substitute, you will get direct equation, that is lambda is equal to h by mv. This is the expression for wavelength of this particle. So suppose this is a particle is moving. So this is distance between one crest. So here to here, this is called lambda. This is called a de Broglie wavelength. The students, lambda is called wavelength, h is called Planck's constant, which is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second, and m is mass of the particle, v is speed of the particle. Very important point, I'll tell you. So this lambda is inversely proportional to mass. If mass of the body is more, so wavelength will be less. If mass of the particle is least, wavelength will be more. So once they ask in the CET, you consider protons, electrons and alpha particles. You know, your alpha particles are the largest particles and protons are second largest particles. Electrons are smallest particles. So now here this lambda is inversely proportional to mass. Okay. Now here electrons have less mass, then they have maximum de Broglie wavelength. And alpha particles have large mass, they will be having small amount of wavelength. Very important, students, you should remember this. And after that we will get different expressions. So you know that is Ke is equal to P square by 2m. So you learnt in PVC 1 the relationship between kinetic energy, momentum and mass. I want to get what, dear students? I want to get this one. So momentum, this is nothing but what? We can written as lambda is equal to h by p. Shortcut method. Now momentum I want to find. So now p square is equal to 2 times of m into Ke. P is equal to, that is 2 times of m into Ke. So I'll substitute here, it becomes, that is 2 times of m into Ke. This is expression for de Broglie wavelength in terms of mass and kinetic energy. Okay, and here I am going to give direct formula. If you substitute the value of Planck's constant, mass of the electron, again, and kinetic energy of the electrons, you are going to get some specific formulas, and it will be very useful for your exams. So what is that? So now here, that is lambda P or N, lambda E, lambda alpha. Means de Broglie wavelength for protons and neutrons, de Broglie wavelength for electrons, de Broglie wavelength for alpha particles. Dear students, very important thing. So you know that is, it is given by 12.27 divided by square root of V. So here we got the expression lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2m Ke. This energy is nothing but what? Product of charge and voltage. So which becomes h divided by square root of 2m QV. So if I substitute mass of the electron, charge of the electron, Planck's constant, I'll get 12.27 divided by square root of V. If I replace the mass of the proton or mass of the neutron, we'll get, that is 0.286 divided by square root of V. For particles, if I replace the particle mass of alpha particle, it becomes 0.101 divided by square root of V. So very important. So after writing this, last but not least, this kinetic energy for molecules, gaseous molecules, what is the de Broglie expression? They will ask you for 1 marks. Very important. Or 2 marks. So we know that according to equipartition theorem, the average kinetic energy is equal to half kT. For 3-dimensional, 3 by 2 kT. Now what happens here? It becomes lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2m, that is 3 by 2 kT. Now what happens here? Lambda is equal to this, 2 cancelled. It becomes h divided by 3m kT. This is for gaseous molecules. The students, in this class we understood about the graph used in the photoelectric effect, photons and their properties, and de Broglie waves and expressions. So next class we'll discuss about atoms. Okay, thank you children. If you understand this classes, this concept, please like it and press icon button and share and subscribe. Thank you.